Okay, I'm live again. This is going to be part two because my first video started buffering after a while. The problem of King Solomon and you, part two. We're going to pick up where we left off. Anybody wanting to watch this, don't watch part two first. Watch part one and then part two. Go in line, okay? We're going to wait for people to come into the room. I text everybody that was on the live stream, that I'm going to make a part two, and we got to give them a few minutes. And you know how I run, Rasta Hill back. Listen, when you see me do this, you know, like it's buffering, and I go like this. It's two, and now I'll make sure I'll type it out and do a part two. I'm glad you're back. You know, we got to give a couple minutes for the people to come back in the room. I'm going to pick up where I last started, and it's not going to be that long. I don't have that much, but this was an insightful creator. Listen, you're just coming on. You missed part one. I'm going to go back just a teeny. You're going to have to watch part one. You know, watch part one, and it'll give you the whole concept of this video. This is a very good video. Not because real talk back. I'm glad you're back. You know, I started buffering, and this, you know what? This video is one for the record books that can help you grow, help you to rethink how you pray, how do you look at the Most High. Daughter, wife, and mother, you missed the first video. It was only going to be one video, but I started buffering. So when I upload, watch the first video so you can get the whole principle. And I was waiting for you. I waited for you guys up until like maybe 12 minutes, 13 minutes. And anyway, this is good. I'm gonna go back a little bit real quick so they can understand a little bit, and then watch both of them again. This is a video for the record book, to go back in the files to help you to remember. Maybe I'm going to construct my prayers a little different. And that video that I said I'm going to do tomorrow, which is my Sabbath, I do lunar Sabbath. I'm going to try to make that video tomorrow. I'm going to work on that one tomorrow. I have the concept. It's a reference to King David. See, today is about Solomon. Tomorrow's about King David. And this one is the problem of Solomon and you. Excuse me. Excuse my burping. Pray for my burping, my coughing. We'll get through this video. I got through the first one. Don't look at my hair. Take my braids out so you don't get mesmerized and can't comprehend what I'm saying. And I'm going to do that King David's video tomorrow. This one, put in the record books. Put in the file, because it's going to help you again understanding the prayer situation, improving your prayer situation and how you think about it and how you perceive the answer, and what to do and not to do. And I love King Solomon. And like I said in that first video, everybody thinks, this is why this is one for the record books, because everybody thinks, when they think of King, oh, he just had a lot of wives and concubines, and he got into witchcraft and learning all these things and mysticism and making altars to the concubines and his foreign wives gods. Yes, but there's something else, and I'm pretty sure the majority of you haven't heard it. And this is why I tell you, I don't remember verses, only chapters, because it forces me to read the thing over. When you read over the chapters, you rediscover things that went over your head, like this, problems of Solomon and you. We're at 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Let me see if everybody was in the room back. Not everybody, hold on. I'm gonna give them a couple minutes because I don't like starting again. But I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Hold on. Yo, I'm back. See if you can come back in the room. Bring some sunshine back in the room. Shark Tank. um, all right. Let's give him a few more minutes. Be patient. Remember, we need to be patient. I'm learning again doing it. Remember, repetition. Don't look at repetition as oh, it's bad. It reinforces things in your mind so you can come up with stuff. You know. Oh, the guy that his name was Solomon. He was in the room and asked a whole bunch of questions, which I'm happy. And he says he's not a messianic, which is good. You know, I'm waiting for these guys to come back in the room. Just be patient, okay? Be patient with me. And what I got left is not going to be that long. Make sure all praise to the Most High Creator. You and your wife go back and watch part 1. All right, I'm going to wait a few more minutes. Greet if they come back in the room, and okay. Let me see if anybody else came in the room. Yeah. Okay, just give me another minute and we're going to start no matter who comes in the room or not. Be patient, please. Okay, I'm going to start. Problem, Solomon and you. They go over the heads of many people. Everybody thinks it's Jess. He had a lot of wives and concubines. He made he made idols. He made groves. He made went after the other gods, following what his wives were saying because he loved them and all that stuff. Yes, but there's another thing. 1 Kings 3, chapter 7, verse 13. I'm going to read it again. Remember, repetition is good. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, but I am a young lad with no experience in leadership. Your servant finds himself in the midst of the people. You have chosen a people too numerous to be numbered or counted. Grant then your servant an understanding mind to judge your people, to distinguish between good and bad. For who can judge this vast people of yours? The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for this. And God said to him, because you asked for this, you did not ask for long life, you did not ask for riches, you did not ask for the life of your enemies, but you asked for discernment in dispensing justice. I now do as you have spoken. I grant you a wise and discerning mind. There has never been any like you before, nor will anyone like you rise again. And I also grant you what you did not ask for, both riches and glory, or your life, the like of which no king has ever had. And I will further grant you long life if, this is the part I want to sink in, I will grant you long life and all those things if you will walk in my ways and observe my laws and commandments as your father David. Okay, now listen to this. King David, watch part one so you can get the whole gist of the video. They started buffering and I had to redo it again, make a part two. Problem of Solomon and you. Later, two prostitutes in chapter 3 of 1 Kings chapter 3. Later, two prostitutes came to King Solomon and stood before him. This is what everybody missed. A lot of people, from my knowledge, learning for all these years, being a Koheleth for a while, you don't hear them talking about this other aspect that occurred that you can glean from the King Solomon incident. The argument is over a child with two women claiming to be the mother. 1 Kings chapter 3. Solomon then orders the child to be cut in half asunder. The true mother hands over the child. The false mother absurdly agrees killing the child, even after she was granted custody. She's like, well, like you could do it, but, Now, Israelites, stop and think for a second. The true mother of a child would give that child back over to the rule of the true God rather than keep it for oneself and bring it to ruin. See, this is what I'm trying to say. Solomon missed the notion that Israel was God's. Solomon's thinking that by his actions that this people is mine. Remember, when you hold on stuff too tightly, when the Most High rips it from your hand, it hurts. And always think everything is temporary. And everything is the Most High. Everything is his. Proverbs 16 says, I made everything for myself, not you. I made everything for myself, even the wicked for the day of evil. Solomon missed the notion that Israel was God's. And Solomon himself proved to be the false mother in that incident, who divided her child, or would agree, cut him in half over time. Solomon died in his 60s and failed to realize the promise of a long life due to his disobedience of the covenant. Remember, it was like a covenant agreement the Most High had with Solomon for asking in his prayer for have the ability of discernment and judgment over the Most High's people, not Solomon's people, because the people and everything that you see in the visible and invisible is the Most High. But sometimes we kind of mix it up. This is mine. This is mine. Knucklehead, who gave you the money? Who gave you the life, the breath, the situation to use it? You only use things. You get it mixed up. Problem of Solomon and your problem. So the kingdom was torn from Solomon's hand and given to Jeroboam, who was the evil king, who was a king from the house of Israel. First Kings chapter 3, verse 9. So give your servant an understanding mind to judge the people and rule this great people. Excuse me for the burp and the coughing. And the hair, got my braids out. Listen, discernment. Let me give you the meaning of discernment. Remember, when people talk about Solomon, they're only talking about his wives. He went after the gods of his wives. He did this, he did that, but they don't talk about this. This is more deep in depth. When you reread things, that's how you could discover the things you missed in the first, second, third reading. Again, that's why I don't give you, it's in First Kings chapter 3. I'm going to give it verse 9 because I'm reading in the thing, but I would just say, if I tell you this later on, I'm just going to tell you First Kings chapter 3. You read the whole thing. You may discover something I missed. First Kings chapter 3, and it's in verse 9. So give your servant, Solomon's talking to the Most High, so give your servant an understanding mind to judge the people and rule this great people. Well, Israelites, discernment equals this. It means to understand, separate mentally, or deal wisely or skillfully with others, to discover by intellect, or to have an intelligent mind. Solomon wanted discernment. Everybody keeps thinking it's just wisdom. There's a wisdom that comes with it, but he didn't ask for wisdom. He asked for discernment and judgment. That's what you haven't heard or you forgot when you read it, or it went over your head when you read it. And most people and myself didn't get it. That's why rereading is excellent. Repetition is super good. I'm sold out on repetition. Hopefully you are too. The word wise. Now I gave you the definitions of discern. Now this is of wise, W-I-S-C. The word wise was not present in King Solomon's request, which everybody thinks it was. He asked for discernment, which has an aspect of wisdom, but he didn't ask for to be wise. This is why this video, the part 1 and 2, is for the record books. Something that you need to file when you need to remember. You need to watch that video again, or if you write in your notes, watch it again so you stay on point. Because the Tanakh is our history and law book, an example of how we need to live. And by the mistakes of others, we can do better. Because they want us to do better. I want you guys to do better. You should want me to do better. The word wise was not present in King Solomon's request. The Lord granted Solomon discernment to judge and rule, but added his blessing, like riches, honor, and his will. Behold, I have done as you asked. That's what it said. Behold, I have done as you asked. He asked for discernment and judgment. He didn't say wisdom. People just attach wisdom because an element of wisdom is in it, but it wasn't the exact thing he asked for. Behold, I have done as you asked, Solomon. I have given you a wise and discerning mind to do discernment and judge the people. It didn't ask for like internal wisdom. No. When you read it, reread it, keep reading it. No. Discern and wise are two separate words. Discernment and wisdom, two separate words. File this. Help you in your prayers and help you in your walk. Wise means to be wise in mind or to act, to be and show oneself wise. Wisdom, application of discernment to oneself. When you ask for wisdom, it's for you, not for a people group. It's for you. Wisdom, an application of discernment to oneself. It regards the ability and will to make one's own heart and be able to make your heart and mind better, not just to judge a people. The Lord's will, as spoken over Solomon, is reinforced in his warning. Because when King Solomon asked for, prayed for discernment and the judgment of the people, there were some warnings in it, which is, if you will go my way, keep my statutes and my commandments as your father David did, then, that's a caveat and the warning, then I will lengthen your days. That's why King Solomon only lived into the 60s, because he didn't. That you have to listen to. When that prayer comes, you try to comprehend it in all the aspects. Use the example that I'm giving you right here in this video called The Problems of Solomon and You, so you don't do the same. Key note in my notes. The Most High is asking Solomon to primarily be wise concerning his own heart. Solomon was concerned with judging others' behavior and ruling people. See, this is why I told you, if you watch all YouTubes, most of the YouTube, I'm not saying there can't be one on this topic, but I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it. And it's a pleasure and honor that the Most High, how did I know I'm doing a video on Solomon's, the problem of Solomon and you? Remember, the Most High is in charge of everything. He gave me outlets to look, things to think, study, read, dissect, and I come out with this video. And I come realizing, that's the truth. The Most High was asking Solomon to primarily be wise concerning his own heart. Solomon was concerned with judging others' behavior and ruling people. Solomon was given many things, but the continuance of his ruling house was dependent not on the outward show, but on his inner spiritual state. He was more concerned with the outside stuff. Discernment, could judge, will be smarter than them. The Most High was even more concerned with his heart, his mind, the inner blossoming of wisdom for him, inside him. Thus, his reign ends in decline, and the breakup of his united Israel kingdom came to be. Sort of like the case when he judged the two ladies fighting over the child. Think about it. The main judging case, discernment case that everybody knows, or everybody should know, or everybody forgot, but they know that it's there, of the two women saying, this one child is mine. And Solomon saying, well, why is it yours? Because of this, that. The other lady said, why is it yours? Because of this, and that. He said, you know what? Solomon said, you know what my judgment is? Hey, executioner guy over there, come over here. Cut this baby asunder in two parts. Give her one half and the other half. And the other, right now. And the lady that truly was the mother said, no, this baby's really not mine anyway. Everything is the Most High. And why would I want what the Most High gave me to come to ruin? Here, take the baby. Well, look at Solomon's situation. It's the same. The house of Judah, the house of Israel was cut asunder, separated. That's why you got two houses. Now, in the latter days, when the end time, the terrible day of the Most High, the terrible day of the Most High comes, and then when he takes 1/3 remnant into the wilderness to plead with them, that means to afflict them. And the 1/3 that comes out of that, then there's not going to be two houses. It's only going to be one house. Because at that moment, we have finally learned the lesson. It's finally imported, downloaded how we are to think, live, and act, and be the example of the priestly nation upon the earth. We're ready then. Right now, no, still. Use this video, file it. Solomon left out the wisdom of mending his own relationship with the i.s.u.p.k, with the Most High, with the one in Exodus 3:14 who said, "I am that I am." You know, sometimes we could tend to, well, okay, but we fade away, we drift off into the worldly things because we're human. But still, you have your example. I'm giving it to you in this video. Solomon did not heed the Lord's answer of his prayer and ruled himself and his kingdom, as if 1 Kings chapter 3 was the entire conversation. He divided his prayer in his own heart and mind, and his kingdom went the same way. He divided it. He just said, "Oh, I got wisdom in the thing." Well, like, I'm not going to think about how the Most High is probably telling me he wants me to be of one mind, to have internal wisdom, to be a better King Solomon that will appease the Most High. Not just on an earthly sense, a physical sense, where I got this great ability to judge everybody, to discern. I know all the plants and animals and the things of the earth, not just physical. You are physical and spiritual. Let me give you an example of that right now. Let me give you an example of this, and this is not in my notes, but it came to me. I'm going to show you right now that you're physical and spiritual. Listen to me. Everybody listen up right now. You know, we have our senses and our mechanical, physical attributes that makes things work. You know, our ears have eardrums and receivers. That's how, and our tongue and our vocal cords help us to speak. Without those things, like you cut your tongue, you can't speak. If they take out your eardrums and other things, you go deaf. You know, you have the blind, because you got blind, their eyes are gone. People that are deaf, the things in their vocal cords and stuff don't work. People that can't speak, and the people that can't talk, their vocal things are messed up, and the people that can't hear, they're deaf. The things in their inner ears are gone or messed up, malfunction. Right? The way you hear things is sound frequencies and vibrations go inside your inner ear, translates it in your mind, and then you can hear what they say, and then you hear it. When you talk, you hear the words coming out, right? You can hear it, and then you can hear other people's words. Now, I'm going to give you a test to show you that you are physical and spiritual, and stop dividing the two. When you think of yourself, always think, yo, this is not just physical. This thing is spiritual. Like, think bad things are going in your life. Don't think that it's just physical. It's spiritual, because you are too. Don't separate it. Because incident with Solomon, cut the child in half, is a separation. Well, he did the same thing that a lot of people don't realize. He separated the things in the answered prayer that the Most High wanted him to have wisdom of himself, the wisdom of his relationship, the wisdom of internally how he's supposed to relate to the Most High. He just separated and says, well, I got what I want. I'm going to have the crazy ability of discerning these people, judging these people, knowing worldly things. And it wasn't really the stuff that makes him his spiritual side. The Most High, he wants the spiritual side. And he drifted to that carnal mindset, which he asked for, but the Most High is answering him. That's why when the Most High answers you, you got to listen. You got to break it apart like a puzzle. Okay, he gave me this, he gave me that. Remember when the Most High blessed King Solomon, he said, that was very wise what you asked for, but I'm going to give you these things. But under these conditions. Don't break that answer up. You have to take the whole conglomerate of the answer that the Most High is giving you and answer your prayer and see so that you can do the will of the Most High. All right, so let's go back to this example. Then we're going to go back. We're going to be almost finished. I'm going to show you that you are physical and spiritual. What I want you guys on this live chat to do right now, all of you, and I'm going to tell you, I want Rasta Hill, Young King, all praise to the Most High Creator, and his wife, mother, daughter. I want Anuha. I want King David, Psalm 144. You're afraid of the truth. Biblically vestical. I want all you to do this with me right now. I'm going to prove to you right now that you're two, that you really can't see if you just look in the mirror or whatever. And I just told you the way this physical body works. In order to hear, you need your inner ear mechanics to work. If they don't work, you're deaf. If your inner mouth stuff don't work, you can't talk, you're deaf. If your vocal cords don't, you're deaf. Your eyes. If the eye internal mechanics don't work, you can go blind. I'm gonna show you your spiritual right now. Listen to me. When everybody on this live chat right now, to think of, let me see. I want you to think of let me see. Think of something material, not even something spiritual. Think of a beautiful house. Think of a beautiful house. Now you're thinking of it, right? Now, what I want you to do without saying it with your mouth, your vocal cords, say inside your head the word beautiful house. Did you do it? I did it. Did you hear in your mind? I didn't say hear with your ears. Did you hear inside your coconut beautiful house? Do it again. I want you to say, not with your mouth, but with your mind, but I want you to actually hear it inside your head. Inside your head. Say the word inside your head without moving your mouth, using your mouth, and say beautiful house. Do it right now. I'm doing it right now. Did you hear beautiful house? I heard it inside my head. How was I able to do that? See, I heard 100%. See, Shark Tank, you heard it 100%. Anuha, TVET, Biblical Vestical. Are you afraid of truth? All praises to the Most High Creator and wife, mother, daughter. Young King, Real Talk, Shark Tank, Rasta. Did you hear the word beautiful house inside your head without using the things that only make words come out? And did you hear it clearly? Yes, you heard it clearly. That's an aspect of life that the natural man doesn't realize. You are physical and you're spiritual. Because how can you hear if you did not use the mechanism, the physical mechanism of speech? How could you hear it inside your head clear as day? And you know you heard it clear as day because you are a physical and spiritual being. When we leave the earth or when we come to the end of Jacob's trouble and we're in now a more spiritual realm, that's how things operate. Amazing. You serve an amazing, the only creator. Come on. You heard it. You know you heard it. How you do it. Well, I'm telling you how you did it. Because you got two parts. And sometimes we forget that other part. Okay, let me get back. Okay, Solomon did not heed the Lord's answer of his prayer and ruled himself and his kingdom in First Kings chapter 3. He didn't view it correctly. He divided his prayer in his own heart and mind, and his kingdom went the same way. It was divided, the house of Judah and the house of Israel. Solomon did not really pray for wisdom, but he prayed for discernment in judging the people. That's what a lot of people don't know. That's what I'm telling you. File this. This is a good one to go back, to get it back in your memory banks, to help you in areas in your life. It's helping me. I'm going to study this all the time. The child in the case that Solomon judged between those two women saying, it's my child, could be a symbolic of his future. When he judged, that was a symbolic incident of his future that was coming. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the same thing. That's when you see the house of Israel and the house of Judah separated, because he thought that the people was his to a degree. They were his. Everything is the Most High. Prophet 16 is the Most High. I made everything for myself. He didn't make the everything for all praise to the Most High Creator, a new Yah, TVET, Young King, a Real Talk, Rasta Hill, Shark Tank, and whoever else going to watch it later. He didn't make it for you. He made everything for himself. You know, when you get a lot of stuff, everything is going your way, you could go, you know what? Yo, this is mine. It's not yours. Your physical body is not yours. You think it's yours. It's not yours. You're borrowing everything. Sometimes we get this thing where, yo, it's mine. So when you look at this Solomon and you incident, sometimes you think things are yours. And the more weightier matter is that you want to desire and please the Most High over everything. Everything in front of you, everything that you have access to, everything that you're ruling over is not yours. Most High, what you want me to do with your shit, your stuff? It's not mine. And that's how it's going to redirect your prayer. And when you watch this next video of mine with King David, which will be tomorrow on my lunar Sabbath or Saturday, you're going to see. But I'm giving you a little highlight here. Yo, I ain't praying for nothing. Only one thing. Anyway, we'll go. I don't want to give spoiler alerts and shit, you know. Tune in. You see me with my crazy unbraided hair, but tune in. Don't look at the inner stuff. Solomon did not really pray for wisdom, but discernment in judging the people. The child in the case Solomon judged could be a symbolic of his future and how he would act. This division resulted in Solomon himself being torn and the kingdom divided like the child. The Most High wanted unity, and Solomon did division. People remember this. The Most High wants unity. That's why I tell you, greet each other. That's why I say it's okay to chop it up in convocation before the video. You guys that don't like it, beat it. I'm not looking for subscribers. I'm looking for unity, not division. Division is you don't talk too much. Let's get right to it, and then you go about your life. No, Israelites talk to each other, convocate with each other. This division and prayer, say it again, resulted in Solomon himself being torn and the kingdom divided like the child. The Most High wanted unity, and Solomon did division. This is an example we can learn from. Petitioning the Most High, but not listening to what the Most High responds to you in the prayer. Do it differently. I'm giving you an example. That's why I made the video. The problem of Solomon and you. You have a prayer problem. You don't know it. You got a prayer problem. You don't listen. When you listen, you become more intelligent, right, Anuya? Because when we repeat things, we're really repeating the things that we already know. But to become more intelligent, you have to speak less, which listening is going to make you smarter. This is an example we can learn from: petitioning the Most High, but not listening to what the issue wants in prayer. That's your problem. You're not listening. Solomon's prayer was linked to a human type of intelligence and worldly involvement rather than the soul-centered wisdom of the Most High. The Most High looks for spiritual stuff. That's why your house, your pension, your occupation, your degrees on the wall, your trades, your stocks, your bonds, the children that you made on the earth by him, your wealth, your possessions mean nothing to the Most High. It's nothing. He made everything. It's nothing. The Most High is involved with a soul-centered wisdom, not an outer wisdom discernment. He's looking for an inner wisdom discernment. Job tells a good thing, and I'm closing here, and I'm going to read your thing. Job tells us this about wisdom of the Most High. Gold, glass cannot equal wisdom, nor can it be exchanged for jewels or vessels of fine gold. The possession of wisdom is even above rubies and pearls. Behold, the reverential and the worshipful fear of the Most High, and knowing that he is, which you could find that in Ecclesiastes 12:13. For the conclusion of the whole matter, the sole purpose of man is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. This is the lesson for all of us when we pray. That's why I said the problem of Solomon, and you have that problem. You don't have to admit to it, but you got a problem similar to it. You have a division. You ain't listening to the answers totally of the Most High, because you're looking more outwardly. He's looking for a unity of wisdom inside you, a oneness inside you, so you could be more pleasing to him. Remember, Proverbs 16, he said, I made everything for myself. He made you. You don't own you. This is a lesson for all of us when we pray. To listen and not divide oneself from the Most High and his will. Video done. Hopefully it was edifying. Let me go over some of the comments and stay tuned. This is one you file away. I'm going to read. Repetition is good, as Samuel said in the other one. So it sticks in the nut. Let me read some of these comments and look out for my next video, which I did today's Solomon. Tomorrow or Saturday, look out for my video. I don't know when I'm going to do it because I don't know when it's going to be done. It's going to be another one you put in the file. I'm telling you now. I have the concept already. It's going in the coconut, through the coconut milk. Okay? All right, so that I gave you that example. You are physical and spiritual. Say it again. Beautiful building, but say it without using your vocal cords. And you know you heard it inside your head. How you do that? Because you are divided, physical and spiritual. You're two, and the Most High don't want your physical. Your physical is just a case that you put on. You use it. You use it to house. The most important thing is your spiritual and your connection to the Most High, and how you act, how he expects you to act, how he wants you to act. All right. That was amazing for you and for me. TBT. I trimmed my beard today. A little feel like shit. Need clarification on the beard upkeep. You can clean it up, but don't cut it off. You can clean your stuff up. You don't cut it off. Nah. Like I'm here in Dominican Republic. I can't speak Spanish good. I know a lot of Spanish words and phrases and stuff like that. And that's why I go to the same people. You know, sometimes when they're trimming it, they trim it even lower. Like I can get it down to here, and sometimes it's too late. They're like, you know, but you see it. Most High knows your heart. You know, try to keep it on. Okay. Okay. Bring it out. I love my real family. I love you guys too. That's what I do. Why I do what I do. Because I'm gonna be judged. I'm looking at the end. I ain't looking at the present. Looking at the end. I want the Most High to look at me and say, "Yo, you was a knucklehead. You did a lot of stupid shit, but I know your heart. You would try it. I want to be let in. That's my prayer, to be let in, and I'm appeasing. You know, that's what it is. Discernment is a blessing. Spiritual discernment for the inward oneself towards the Most High. Everything else doesn't matter. Understanding, and overstanding. Correct. Got your works up. Wisdom is a mighty blessing. All praise to the Most High. Glory. My mother, 24/7. Do you wear fringes? You know, I don't wear the fringes as the camps. Deuteronomy 22, I think. Where your fringes in the four corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 on this side. And 2 on that side. With a line of blue. All praise to the Most High. To zits. Listen, put this in the books. I put it in the books. I got it in this book. All right. Listen, this is the new Yeshua Israel. He on an island tour until next time. Sorry for the late video. It's 12:20 by me. It is 11:20 by you, but hopefully this was useful for you.